In the late 1990s, a beach on the Oregon coast started giving something back. Not coins. Not driftwood. Not a shipwreck. Trees. At Neskowin, near Proposal Rock, winter storms stripped sand from the beach and uncovered a field of dark stumps. They were not new. They were not props. They were the remains of a Sitka spruce forest, rooted in place, preserved under sand and mud for centuries. To anyone walking there after the storms of 1997 and 1998, the scene looked almost staged. Black trunks stood out of the beach at low tide. The ocean moved around them. Fog softened the horizon. A place that was supposed to be open sand suddenly looked like a forest that had drowned, waited, and returned. That is why people call it the Neskowin Ghost Forest. The strange part is that the story became modern because of weather. The forest itself is much older, but the public shock came when the beach changed quickly enough for people to notice. One winter, there was sand. Then storms moved that sand away, and a buried coastline appeared. There are several ways to tell this story. The tourist version says, go at low tide, look near Proposal Rock, and you might see the stumps. The geological version says something more unsettling, coastlines are not fixed. A beach can hide a forest, expose it, and hide it again. The land here has memory, but the ocean controls when you get to read it. And then there is the Cascadia version. Along the Pacific Northwest, stories of drowned forests are not only spooky scenery. They can point toward earthquakes, sudden land drops, and tsunamis. The ghost forest at Neskowin is often discussed as part of a larger coastal pattern, places where land, trees, sand, and sea level record violent change long before a person writes it down. That is what makes the Neskowin beach feel different from a normal local landmark. It is not just old. It is a reminder that the coast can change its mind. Imagine standing there before sunrise. The sand is flat and wet. The stumps are low, dark, and blunt. From a distance, they look like broken posts. Up close, they look organic. You can see how they once belonged to something living and vertical. A forest is supposed to be above you. Here, it is under your feet. There is no monster in this story. No invented ghost. No midnight figure walking between the trunks. The disturbing part is simpler. The beach itself is the reveal. For most places, history is kept in archives, museums, and old photographs. At Neskowin, history can come back because a storm removes the cover. The evidence is not behind glass. It is in the tide line. That is why the ghost forest works so well as a West Coast local fact. It sounds like folklore until you learn it is visible. It sounds ancient until you realize the modern chapter began with storms people still remember. It sounds like a haunting until the explanation becomes larger than the haunting. A buried forest walked back out of the sand. And for a little while, the beach let people see what had been underneath them the whole time.